Jump off that exhausting hamster wheel and into balanced living with Dr. Marissa.
Promise you joy in the mystery.
Dr. Marissa, also known as the Asian Oprah. Her mission, to be a beneficial presence on the planet. Her purpose, to be your personal advocate to live, laugh, love, learn. Her life motto, don't die wondering. Take back your life with Dr. Marissa Pei.
And welcome. You're tuned in to Take My Advice. I'm not using it. Get balanced with Dr. Marissa, the morning show here on KCAA, NBC News, CNBC News, and NBC Sports Radio Station, AM 1050, FM 106.5, home to the Asian Oprah, number one talk in the IE. Thank you very much. And streaming everywhere. iHeartRadio, Spotify, iTunes, TuneIn, Audible, Amazon Music, Tiki Live, Rumble, Podchaser, Streaker, and more. Why so many places? Well, I want to maximize my splatter zone for more hope and happiness. That's why I don't talk about headlines. No politics, no religion, nothing that is going to, if it bleeds, it leads, and leads you to say things like, what's wrong with people? And is the world going to hell in a handbasket? Nope. Instead, I want you to go, oh, wow, I didn't know that. And oh, isn't that interesting? And oh, that would definitely make me happier. And that's why I've been doing this show for 701 consecutive weeks, but who's counting? And why I have fabulous guests yesterday streaming in from Chicago, Illinois, was She Decides podcast host. And I hope you enjoyed that. Today, as you can see in studio, we have the beautiful Inside and Out, Dr. Tiffanie Tate, who is my co-host for the popular series called Doctors in the House with myself and
Dr. Tiffanie Tate.
She's a U.S. Navy veteran, a published author, retired OBGyn from Compton, California. She's a playwright, singer, poet, songwriter, and more. She's a published author of many books, including an important children's book called Bad Touching. My favorite still, because it takes an area that's difficult to talk about, but so important with your kids and helps them through all of that. And her latest and newest hat is being thrown into the political arena, running for Congress. You'll hear more about that during the break. But in the meantime, welcome back to the show, Dr. Tiffanie Tate.
Good morning, everyone, and happy Wednesday.
And we're going to start the way we usually do, which is to have breakfast together. And we take a bite of my gratitude sandwich, top of the bun. What are some things that we're grateful for that are outside of ourselves? And bottom of the bun, what we want you to do before you go to bed tonight. What are some things that you're grateful for inside of yourself? What do you like about yourself? So, Dr. Tiffanie, tell me, what are you grateful for?
Well, I have had a very busy time since I last saw you. And so I'm going to start with yesterday, because I'm just going to work my way backwards. Yesterday, I had the wonderful opportunity to go volunteer at a local elementary school for a program that's called Vision to Learn. I am a member of the Rotary Club here in Riverside, and it's we do a lot of things internationally, but also locally. And at the local elementary school, we perform vision exams for free vision exams. And if the students fail their screening test, there is a mobile vision clinic that will perform a more detailed exam and give them free eyeglasses.
Nice.
So I performed the 7:30 in the morning shift.
I can't see that. I am grateful that my younger daughter, Sarah, whose birthday is October 19th, and her adorable boyfriend, Graham, same name as my bonus dad, and his birthday is 3 days before that, came down to celebrate with me. And it's just been a lovely, quick 3 day turnover, but certainly I'm just like so loved, loving, and lovable. in their presence, and it's just been fabulous. Dr. Tiffany knows because there's nothing like when kids come home, right?
Mhm.
What are you grateful for?
I am also grateful because on Sunday, I did double duty. I participated in the Believe Breast Cancer Walk,
Oh,
and I did it with my sorority sisters. And I have a strong family history of breast cancer, and
mm,
I've had 2 masses removed from my breast, and I'm doing great. I don't have any issues currently, so hallelujah, thank God. And then
mhm.
after that, I went and participated with my organization, Seroptimus, of which I am on the board, and we raised money with the Mad Hatter Tea because we do a lot of programs in the community serving women and girls. And that was wonderful because we raised money for scholarships, and I had a chance to network within the community for my campaign, educate people after the event because you cannot commingle. But it
Correct.
was
Just like
yes,
the show.
absolutely, absolutely. And so it was good to network after the event, and Mia had the opportunity to perform during the event.
Oh, I love Mia's voice. That's so wonderful. I am grateful that wow, I had the most amazing weekend in Vegas, and what it's in Vegas, it stays in Vegas. However, I will suffice to say that my longest running friend, I've known her 28 years, maybe more. Love her. She's my sole example of anybody who says I'm not capable of intimate relationships. I'm like, that she's proof. But anyway, she had a birthday in Vegas, and what a time with her husband, her friends, and wow, talk about a treat, first class. I felt like it was my birthday at the Venetian, and wow, I'm just so grateful, and I got a re-invite to go back for New Year's, so New Year's Eve, and just so excited, and I live a blessed life. Talk about you know, I feel like I've turned the corner on the blood clots on, instead of thinking about all the things I can't do because of the blood clot, I was able to drive to Vegas instead of fly. And, I love driving. It was a nice reminder that I was a race car driver in a former life. And so that was a lot of fun. And I'm really grateful for that opportunity.
Well, I'm gonna remember that you love driving because I prefer to be driven. So whenever we go
Yeah.
somewhere, I will call on I will call on you.
Well, I don't well, it's funny because I have a two-seater and people go like it's an automatic way of excusing myself from having to take people because there's no back seat. And my front seat looks like someone lives in it because it's my office. But for you, Dr. Tiffany, we'll clean it up.
You clean the place out of the way. It's a privilege. Thank you. Thank you very much.
And one more.
Okay. And I had the opportunity to speak at the Democratic Club earlier, well, one of the Democratic clubs that I hadn't spoken at before. And it was such a warm reception. And they asked who have already gone to do calls on behalf of Prop 50. And it was nice because I was the only person who had raised my hand. And I've already done like two of those advocating for Prop 50. And it was nice because my hand went up, like, yay, me. And so I felt very proud of myself. I gave myself a yay, me, yay, me. And it
Yeah.
was cute because when I was volunteering for the school, that was what the teacher said to the kids. They say, way to go, me, way to go, me. And I thought that that was
Ah,
so cute. So,
good teacher.
I know. I was like, that's good that she's teaching the children to affirm themselves at such a young age.
Yes.
So I was thinking, okay, way to go, me. Way to go, me.
Mhm. That's so good. That's so good. My final gratitude is I drove back. I stayed up and played craps because that's my favorite game till 5:30 in the morning. And then made the birthday video, 6:30, went to bed, checked out 10:30, drove into a mahjong tournament. Now, the first time I did the mahjong tournament, it's new house rules and I sucked. I was fourth last out of like 30 people. And I thought after no sleep and an entire weekend, I'm going to really suck, right? I ended up doing so well that I went from fourth last place to second place on the ladder that day. So I was like, I think I need to come to play when I'm really tired. That's that's the learning from that. But that's another definite blood clot silver lining is I've been really involved between Mahjong Underground and East Never Loses and LA Mahjong Club. I am grateful to all three of those for making this time not on tour enjoyable for me, and so always because I'm just a tad competitive. It's not whether you win or lose, it's whether I win or lose. So for that I am totally grateful. Top of the bun, let's go to the bottom of the bun, which is what do I like about myself? And I'm so glad Dr. Tiffanie met a teacher who's teaching that. Most of us in our generation, even though we're hashtag ageless, we were told you're not all that. Don't toot your own horn. As a result, we're looking for love in all the right places or likes literally on social media. And if you depend on other people to give you your self-worth, you're going to be in trouble because they may love you one day and then they don't love you the next day. So this part of the exercise, good life habit, hashtag Blisscipline, is to force you to think about what you're good about. So when you go to bed tonight, you're not thinking about what you did wrong or who done you wrong. Instead, you know what? I am able to wake up every morning and put my life jacket on with a silver lining. And it's a choice that I want to feel good as much as possible. So I try to stay away from thoughts that don't make me feel good. And for that, I appreciate myself. I've learned how to do that. Dr. Tiffanie, what do you like about yourself?
I like the fact that I play well in the sandbox. What do you mean, Tiffanie? Well, some people don't get along well with others and they throw sand. And I believe that I get along well with others. And I think that I can take constructive criticism. And that's why I am running for Congress, because I know that when patients came into the room, I never asked what your political party was. I asked what your problem is. And I know I am a problem solver. And I know that no matter what the situation is, I can get to the root of the problem and I can work for evaluating the problem and figuring out the problem and solving the problem. And I know that I can play well in the sandbox.
Very good. Good for you, not me. It's funny because when you first said patience, I went to the P word that I don't have, not that kind of patience, but the other kind of patience. But it took me a second there. I appreciate that. I may not have that skill that Dr. Tiffanie has, and she definitely has it. And I definitely don't. I'm proud of that, as you can tell. But I do have the ability to focus on the solution and not the problem. I'm very, very good at not staying in the problem vibration very long because I cannot find a solution from that vibration level. Not judging it, but just saying that you cannot find a solution if you're staying in the problem. Just saying. One last one.
And like she said, she does not have patience. I am thankful that I do have patience. And that's why I was awarded that Virtuous Woman of Patience award earlier this year.
I will never get that word.
Because I believe I do have patience.
Yeah.
And I think it takes patience in this world, especially today. And I'm thankful for that.
last time I prayed for patience, I got 2 teenage daughters. That's why I have no patience. But what I do have is a really good sense of humor, and my ability to find the funny in every situation, I think is a skill, and I embrace that part of me. And that's it for breakfast. Thanks for joining us. Whether you do this on your own or with me every weekday morning, I'm hoping you just do it because it will sandwich your day in the most positive way. Thanks for joining us for breakfast. And now for the topic of the day.
Hey, you! Hey! Hey, you!
What is it, Dr. Tiffany?
Need or greed? Need versus greed.
I feel the need for greed. That was a very quick association when she gave me the topic on text yesterday. But why are we talking about need and greed, Dr. Tiffany?
Well, we live in such an indulgent society, and I have had people ask me questions about everything going on in the world. And I have actually had parents talk about finances in my book, Money Matters, and how I raised my children and kept them from being indulgent. And adults sometimes are indulgent. And so, and in light of everything that's going on right now with the shutdown, um, and I just figured this would just be a good topic just to delve into it because there's just so many issues when we talk about needs and greed and when we look at our own lives. So I just wanted to personalize it because as we go about our everyday life and we look at how we interact with one another, um, it's just something to make you stop and go,
Absolutely. Okay, personal experience with need versus greed. If you have 8 cents worth of an opinion on this, we'd love for you to chat with us. Unless you're driving, please do not chat with us. If you're driving, wait till you get somewhere safe. You can. I'm streaming live as usual everywhere. LinkedIn, Facebook, and Show Central, which is my YouTube TV channel. So please do. It's a free subscribe. Give us the finger or the hearts, and just play along with us this morning. Dr. Tiffany always picks topics that, not always, but most of the time, picks topics that other places don't talk about, and so these are all areas in which can affect our happiness, can affect our relationships with ourselves, most importantly, and others. So, yeah, we'd love to interact with you. So feel free to go in the chat and talk about need and greed. What's the where's that line?
Okay, so I wanted to start with what a need is, what a greed is, and then pose a couple of rhetorical questions. Because need essentially refers to a requirement, something that's needed for our survival. While greed is something excessive and it's nothing that we actually is something that's not truly required. And so it's something that's insatiable as a desire, such as wealth or a possession. So it can be power. It's beyond a need. It's sometimes often self-centered, and gratitude. And it's something we often consider more than fair or deserved. And I want us to think about the last time we needed something or reflect on the fact, is wanting more always bad?
Good question. Because we can think that we need something, right? I really need that dress. I need that dress. I need those shoes. I need that car. I need that car. I need that house. I need that guy. I need that. Right?
Mhm.
All that need isn't really need. That's what struck me is I have a very strong need picker. And it is if I think one of the goals I had when I was younger was I want to make enough money that I don't have to look at the price tag, right? That
Mhm.
was my goal, right? It wasn't a certain amount of money, but enough money where it really didn't matter what that price tag was. That could qualify as greed, right? Because go ahead.
Well, I was gonna say I don't necessarily say it would be greed,
Okay. Thanks
um,
for getting me off the hook
because
there.
yeah, I think that does let you off the hook because is if you're not necessarily being excessive. And that I think that's the key distinction. Um, when you're looking at how the need versus greed goes, because I said, is wanting more always bad? And you can't say always. It's not always bad. And it's not necessarily bad because when does success become selfish?
Mm. And why is selfish such a bad word? That one of my big things is to be more selfish because when you're completely unselfish, you're gonna kill yourself. That whole codependency, right? I don't want to put the oxygen on everybody else and not so there is that a point with which I think we do need more than we allow ourselves to have.
Well, I think it can become selfish when it hurts other people. And that's where the need versus greed steps in. When it hurts other people, that is the distinction because it's like, okay, am I my brother's keeper? Well, you don't necessarily have to go out of your way per se, but you don't want to harm other people in the process. And I think that is the distinction. You don't necessarily need to step on other people, their head, their necks, their backs, their toes in the
Mhm.
process. So if you can figure out a way to achieve your success independently without causing harm, that's great. And when you are spending, as long as you don't even harm yourself, I think that that is an important process because you don't want to overspend. Because I was talking to someone, and when I was saying, "Oh, I think I'm going to do this show," she was like, "Oh, joy spending." I said, "Yes, that is a good thing because you do get that dopamine rush and you do get the fulfillment." She's like, "I love joy spending." I said, "Yeah, that could be a show." The joy in
Oh, I like
spending.
that. I like that. That's actually
Yeah, so yeah, I said,
never heard that expression before. Is that like
oh,
retail therapy?
yes, that is
Okay.
retail therapy.
Okay.
And
Okay.
so, yeah, we
Okay.
we might do that one closer to the holidays.
Yeah.
And so, but I know that at the present time, people are suffering right now,
Mm.
and there's a distinction between the haves and the have-nots, and that need and that greed, and there's this big dichotomy, and everybody is like, well, I don't want this person to have this and I don't want that person to have that. And it's interesting, I always refer back to Nathaniel when we were growing up, and he was in elementary school, and he came home from school and he was like, Mama, am I rich? And I went, and I'm like, no, you are not rich. You don't have a job and you don't have a house. You have nothing. And I have a
Oh.
job and I have a house, and you have got to get your own someday. I let you live in my house, and I feed you and I clothe you. And you need to remember that. And I still remind him of that till this day.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, this is a giant ball of, complicated strands of thought too, because it touches on the whole, the socialism. Everybody should have everything the same and nobody should have any more than others, and wealth should be shared versus that whole divide between the have and have nots. And that sounds political. So that's
no,
not
more so talking about my children. My children.
yeah. No.
Yeah.
I'm not saying you. I'm saying the balance in that is important for all of us. I wasn't even, approaching the political aspect of it. I'm saying that it sounds political, but it's not political. It is truly a BS, a belief system that we all have to kind of, re-examine. And I love talking about this in the sense that we come in with this thought, societal, family, that it's a fixed pie, that there's not enough to go around. That leads to either the polar opposite, help everyone, equal, communism, socialism, or capitalism, have and have nots. And for me, it's neither that, because it's my BS, my belief system. There's more than enough food in the world for everyone. There's more than enough clean water for everyone. There's more than enough everything for everyone. And by taking myself out of that paradigm is the work. It's not spending my life trying to give everything to those who have not. Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely. And it's interesting because someone said, well, how did you teach your children about, their needs versus their wants? And I said, well, I would give them an allowance. And a lot of times when we would go shopping, they would forget their money, right? And so I would say, okay, no worries. I will give you a loan and I will pay for this toy or whatever it is you want. But when we get home, you will give it back to me. All of a sudden, they no longer needed it, nor did they want it, because it was no longer mom's money. It was their money that they had to spend.
Interesting.
So, right. So it was no longer a necessity for them. All of a sudden, they no longer needed it. So it was interesting because they needed it when it was mama's money. But when it turned out that it was my children's money, the need miraculously disappeared.
Interesting. And one of the books that she has behind her is called Money Matters, and it's a great book to give you a little plug here, to teach kids about money management and teaching them their the importance of what you can do for yourself. I think number one, and two, that whole it's an energy, right, that we can all make. And I think it's particularly useful for all of us to remember that when you lose a job, it doesn't take away all of the experience and the ability. Like you've known how to make money in the past. So whatever job you're at, we had this discussion at dinner yesterday, with the fear of losing a job. My daughter's boyfriend was talking about, the politics and whatever. And it's like, you're always going to have that in an organization. There's only one organization that has not favoritism, politics, miscommunication, conflict, and that's the cemetery. So wherever you're working, you're going to have that. But even if, let's say, worst case scenario, you think it's worst case scenario, you get fired. It's like, no, you've got skills and abilities. You can go anywhere. That's the thing about, our society and thinking about the way we think about money, the way we think about ourselves is so limited. Like you were talking about stepping on the back and the neck and that dog eat dog and climb your way up. And it's just such a unhappy making construct and BS belief system
Mhm.
That's I'm glad we're talking about this because it relates 100% to that.
Absolutely. And what if we helped each other instead of hurt each other? What a mind-blowing experience that would be.
Mhm. Mhm. With the balance of that great it's better to teach someone how to fish than just to continuously supply them the fish. I mean,
Absolutely.
that is in play as well. And I'm looking at the clock. It is time to take a break for news, weather, traffic, and a word from our sponsor. Don't go away. You are tuned in to Doctors in the House with myself, and
Dr. Tiffanie Tate.
we'll be right back in 2 and 2. Peace in, peace out. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
Take back your life with Dr. Marissa Pei.
Hello, my name is Dr. Tiffanie Tate. I am a veteran officer of the United States Navy, retired board certified OBGYN, and I am running for the United States House of Representatives in California's 41st District. Please visit my website at Dr. Tate for Congress. That is DrTateForCongress.com. You can learn more about me and my campaign. As a veteran, I understand your needs and I will fight for your rights. As an OBGYN, I understand healthcare and I will fight for policies to improve all of your needs. And as an American citizen, I will represent you and I will advocate for you. Please learn more about me and consider making a donation to my campaign. Help me help you. Again, my name is Dr. Tiffanie Tate, and I am running to represent you. Please visit my website at Dr. Tate for Congress. Again, that is DrTateForCongress.com. Help me help you. Paid for by DrTateForCongress.com.
Take back your life with Dr. Marissa Pei.
And we're back. You're tuned in to Take My Advice. I'm not using it. Get Balanced with Dr. Marissa, the morning show here on KCAA, home to the Asian Oprah, NBC News Radio, AM 1050, FM 106.5, and streaming everywhere. iHeartRadio, Spotify, and of course, my YouTube TV channel, which contains all 1,491 podcast shows. But who's counting over the 701 consecutive weeks on the air, on camera? So glad those who said I wouldn't last a year were wrong. And we just continue to bring you topics, guests, and special series to up-level your hope and happiness. And today, as you can tell, in studio, we have the illustrious doctors in the house with myself and
Dr. Tiffanie Tate.
Welcome back. And we've been talking about
Need and greed.
I feel the need for greed. And when you say, I need something, do you really need it? And that's what I would tell my children when they say, Mom, I really need that. And I said to them, why do you think you need that? Well, I just need it. No, if you can convince me that this is really something that is going to positively impact your present and future, I will consider it. And then they'll say, but I need this because everybody else at school has one. And I go, that's not a good enough reason. Then they said, well, it'll help me do better in class, because it will help me get to the answer to do better on tests. Recovering tiger mom, that will probably lead me to say yes. But teaching your kids and certainly yourself to distinguish between need and greed is a useful exercise.
Oh, absolutely. And then I have a question for you and everyone
Mm.
else listening. Is consumer culture feeding greed?
Of
Mm.
course. I think, of course. I overheard someone at the store yesterday on their phone, which drives me crazy. I mean, I don't mind if you're on your phone. As a side note, I don't mind if you're on your phone. Just don't put it on speaker. Anyways, so they were talking about, this is so expensive, or I shouldn't buy this because Christmas holidays is coming and I need to save my money for, and that's a very consumer driven holiday. It's become that. Um, Now, the intent behind giving people something to express their love, that's okay. I think that that's a good thing. But um, to take away money that you might need to save for a rainy day or for your health care or your future or your school, whatever the value add in the longer run, longer term gain, right? Yeah, I think that that hurts us. The whole, what can I go out and buy on Black Friday, on Cyber Monday, on
Mhm.
where Boxing Day? Was born in Canada. That, yeah, I think that that definitely goes to greed, even if it's for someone else.
Yeah, and there's always this promotion of this constant craving, this constant novelty, and it's always saying, "Purchase me, purchase this, rush and go get that." And it's always diverting our focus. And it's like, "Look over here, look over there,
Squirrel.
buy, get." And there's always this digital stimulation as well. And this constant consumer culture is always stretching this perpetual acquisition of buy me, get me. And the digital technology makes it easy. I can say I'm guilty of all these Amazon packages coming to my door. I have to raise my hand and say that's me. So,
The buck stops right over there.
right. So I can say that yes, me and my tribe, we are all guilty here in New Jersey. I see the bill. And um, so what the question is, are you satisfied with it?
Hmm.
Do you want to change it? And are you fulfilling need, or are you being a tad bit greedy? Only you can answer that question. I can't
Mm.
answer it for you. Dr. Marissa cannot answer it for you.
This is 100% okay. We've got an echo going. Do you want to check your mic? This
Oh, I thought we've
one's
been good. I don't
yeah,
have
we were until right now.
mm-mm.
So let me just check mine. Um, if you can turn your volume down just a tad, maybe that's it. But the greed and need of the immediate what I want. So I was talking on Monday about the law of attraction. And if you think about all the things that you want, right? Whether it falls in need or well, no, it falls in the greed thing. Let's go there. So I want that fancy snazzy car. I want that new little toy. I want an outfit, right? That is just stunning, or that pair of shoes. Why do you want that or need that? And 100% of the time you need that because or want that because you think that by having it you will be happier. Really, bottom line, don't you want and need things because you think that they're going to bring you some modicum of feel good? Really?
Mhm.
I mean, it's just As simple as that. So then the question becomes, do I have to wait until I have that to feel good? And the answer is no, you don't. Is it possible to feel good without that thing? And that's how I stop myself from buying everything that I have some impulse that I think I need. Is I go, okay, can I give myself that feeling, that same feeling of, oh, yeah, without actually spending the money? I carry a $100 bill in my wallet. I've been doing it for the last 10 years as a direct result of listening to Abraham Hicks and the idea of um, abundance, right? Everybody has, not everybody, sorry. Most of us have in this country food in our fridge, gas in our car, and some money in our wallet, right? And $100 I put in my wallet. Why? Because I say, I want that. I can afford that. I never say, I can't afford that. And yet I hear that all the time. I don't have enough money for that. I can't afford that. And that continues your lack and limitation and a poor constitution, or your BS, your belief system. It feeds into that. But if I say instead, I could buy that, but I don't need to buy that. I can feel good right now without that. That's the ticket, man. That is joy. What were you saying? Joy shopping. Joy shopping,
Yes.
right? Without spending the money. What do you think about that, Dr. Tiffanie?
I think that that is one way to look at it, because when you think about it, there's social media and the comparison culture. It just feeds into that need for acquisition. And when you decide to purchase something, you have this feeling of satisfaction that you've acquired, and you get this happiness, and it may be fleeting, it may be temporary, but you do have happiness. And so you have this escapism, and you have this fleeting pleasure. And I think that when you carry that money around and you spend it, as long as you replenish it, you can start the process all over again. And when we decide that we're going to shop, as long as we shop wisely and we spend wisely, and again, you're not hurting yourself, or hurting others, I think it's fine. We are adults, and we can operate within the spectrum of being adults. And when we spend our own money or money given to us, we are perpetuating American society. We're keeping people at work, and we're keeping America rolling. That's what I always say. I'm doing my part.
I'm helping somebody have a job, right?
Right. I'm keeping America at work.
It's
I'm
all
doing my
about
part.
It's all about
Absolutely.
balance. It's all about
Absolutely.
balance. Got to find that center ground. It reminds me of this commercial, Dr. Tiffany. I don't think I've ever told you this. There was this commercial years and years ago, a woman in bed, and the camera pans in, and her face is like looking at the other side of the bed on the pillow, but you don't see what's on the pillow. And she's just like, she is in this blissful, right, expression on her face, and you can tell like she's very happy. And so you think the camera's gonna pan out and you see this gorgeous guy or something like that, right? And it pans out, it's a pair of shoes that are on the pillow that she's like so happy about. And the reason why I brought that up is that fleeting is really, if we're honest with ourselves, the last time you said, I really need that outfit, I really need that outfit, I really need that shoe, I really need those things, and you buy them, how many days of fulfillment joy did you really get from that, from what you used money wise? And if I'm honest with myself, the most I get from that thing that I needed it, like I needed breath, right?
Mm-hmm.
2 days. I mean, you can't wear it 2 days in a row,
Yeah.
right? And then it goes in the closet, right? And if you
Mhm.
forget, so even in a car's what? A month before it's
Mhm.
no longer giving you that joy. A house, a year
Mhm.
before things start breaking down, you have to pay for it. So the shelf life of happiness on acquisitions, on things that you need, is also something to consider.
Yeah, absolutely. And you have to realize that you are replacing that acquisition and that doing with stillness and creativity. Because sometimes we need to be still. We need to see what other things we can be doing. And what about your relationships with other people? You want to spend time with people. Now, sometimes you spend time with people shopping and you can foster relationships that way.
Mhm.
But you don't want to forego your relationships with people, and you don't want to focus on material gains over genuine connections, because we are people who benefit from interactions with other people.
Mhm. The consumer, uh not all, but there is, if you're not buying for other people and you're buying for yourself and it's a constant buy, it is trying to fill, right? You're
Mhm.
filling some deep need for satisfaction with things that are temporary. So if that sounds like you and you're not happy about that, then it might be time to really look at, what am I trying to satisfy by buying all these things, whether it's for yourself, and conversely, if you're buying things for other people, are you trying to buy the relationship, or are you trying to buy the approval or love? That whole world of codependency that I'm so familiar with. I went to the tractor looking for milk for a long time, and gift giving is one of those areas where it's one of the surefire signs that you are trying to um, uh, make a connection using money or things, instead of recognizing that maybe you're in a relationship that you know you're just not going to get milk from that tractor, no matter
Mhm.
what you give them. Right? You're not helping them by giving them stuff. You're not helping yourself.
Absolutely. And I think that when we look at the dichotomy of need and greed, we want to try to optimize our engagement, because when we interact with other people, we can improve the quality of our relationships. And I think it's important to realize that connection is key. Now, sometimes we can, again, take them along with us, or we can just spend time with them. And I know when I was growing up, I always valued quality time, and that is my love language. And I think it's important to know what your love language is. Now, if your love language is receiving gifts, I think it's important to talk about that with whomever your partner is. And if your love language is giving gifts, I think if you're a shopper, hey, that's great for you. But when you're talking about needs and greed, you need to just reflect on where you stand and how you want that to interplay in your life, and not let it overtake your life.
Yeah, absolutely. We've got a quiet cashew gallery this morning, but if you are tuned in, this is Take My Advice, I'm Not Using It. Get Balanced with Dr. Marissa, the morning show on KCAA, NBC News Radio. And this is Doctors in the House with myself and
Dr. Tiffanie Tate.
and it's always on Wednesdays. And Dr. Tiffanie always picks topics for us to mull over to see how it can help and hurt our happiness and our sense of well-being. And need and greed is the topic today. And I know that I have, as a psychologist, growing up with Maslow's hierarchy of need and hierarchy of, what is really necessary. And uh, um, I think we've touched on this without actually, labeling it, but the whole, obviously, food, water, right? Those physical needs are important, right? But I think what we're also talking about today is that need for self love, self realization, self actualization, self esteem, self in relationship to others, and that intimate relationship that's also
Mhm.
important. Yeah, that just came to me.
Yeah. And we have to realize and acknowledge and the FOMO, the fear of missing out.
Oh, yeah, I got that bad.
Yes.
Especially now with the blood clot and I can't fly.
Mhm. And so the human brain is wired for desire and scarcity. And we just have to put that moose on the table.
Nope.
And so yes. And so right now, especially with social media, a lot of people post a lot of stuff. They make their lives seem so glamorous. And I intentionally do not post a lot of stuff that I do because I don't want people saying, oh, she thinks she's this. Oh, she thinks she's that. Because a lot of people already think that about me. So I intentionally do not post a lot of the stuff that I do because I know that there are haters out there. And I don't want them doing more hating than they need to. So I want us to have a more, a greater environment of love, respect, and trust, because that is how we truly make America great. If we can truly love, respect, and uplift one another. And that is how we can reach each other, build each other up, and uplift one another. And get over our FOMO, our fear of missing out, and let go of our greed and assist each other with their needs. And I think that that is significant. And I came across a quote by Mahatma Gandhi, and it says, "There is a sufficiency in the world for man's needs, but not for man's greed."
Hmm.
That was so astounding. I'm going to say it again. There is a sufficiency in the world for man's need, but not for man's greed. And I believe that 100%. Just like Dr. Marissa said, there is an abundance in the world for everything and for everybody. We just have to spread it out and proportionately divide it to make sure that everybody is able to get what they need.
Mhm. Yeah, that's a fundamental BS belief system that if I get something, you can't have it, or if you have it, I can't get it. And that's such bullshit talky. I use breath as an example. When I take a breath, did you see Dr. Tiffany like fall over because I took her air? No. I didn't take anything from anyone. It's more than enough. And when we come from that place, yeah, I think we'll have world peace. I think that we'll have that humankind emphasis on kind. But as long as we believe that, they have more than us, or I want to show that I have more than you, we're going to be stuck in that. And in that is greed. That is that negative side of need. But I know that and when I'm in solution, I can further and do my part in distributing the whole, make sure that everyone has more than enough. Yeah, it is. It is certainly. I don't think I'm going to see in this lifetime. But Brother Ishmael Tate, who's also one of my teachers, he said, I think we can have world peace in one generation if we teach our children that there is more than enough in the world, and that what I do in an effort to help myself and others is going to mitigate or change the way we think about how we can positively impact each other.
Mm-hmm.
But if we keep focusing on I'm going to kill that person who I think is doing evil. Like, I'll never forget that one movie where they killed someone like Osama bin Laden, and his kids were witness to that. What did we just do? We think that we eliminated evil, but we just created the vicious cycle of, I just watched you kill my father. I'm going to come and kill you.
Mm-hmm.
And so on and so on and so on.
Absolutely. And so my final thought, and I want people to just think about this, is greed always bad, or does it depend on the context? And I want to challenge you to reflect on this. What do you need versus what do you want? And as you think about your life, think about, how can I achieve my needs without being greedy and hurting someone else in the process of doing it? We can always achieve our needs without hurting other people in the process.
Yeah. My final word is need or greed. Are you filling a hole in yourself that only you can fill? That things, people, places, and things are not able to. Do you fundamentally know that you are enough? Because I do know that you are enough. That's it. Great show, as usual, Dr. Tiffanie. We're doing our sign out. It's all about balance. Peace in, peace out. World peace through inner peace. Take us out, Dr. Tiffanie.
Now go and have the best day ever.
Take back your life.